Hey everybody, it's Aquila and welcome to Socktober 2023. Today is going to be another cranking video where I'm cranking an order for my Etsy shop, and so enjoy the noise because that's mostly what you're going to hear except for the beginning part. I've already used my cast on bonnet and put on some waste yarn. I'm going to put on ripcord, which is fishing line that I have. I'll put an iCard video for the introduction to my Socktober if you have questions about why I'm doing this. Alright, so you can start on the last needle or the first needle, totally up to you. This one that's marked red is my last needle. The next one is needle number 1. This is 64 stitches. So I'm just going to get right back around to there, pull my fishing line in to the cylinder, tuck it down. The yarn I'm cranking today is Lanes du Nord watercolor sock, 2 identical socks, and this is color number 106. So these cones have 2 equal 50-gram dye jobs on them. The order that I'm doing today is a hung hem cuff, so it's going to be 40 rows, and then hung it'll be a 20 row cuff. So I'm going to put the tail in there and crank around. Well, reset the counter. Sometimes I forget to do that. All right, reset, and let's go. I just did 40. I'm going to stop close to the front, almost over there. Some people label their cylinders different, but when I'm looking at my you're kind of off to the right. You're kind of at, this is 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you're kind of at 4, 5-ish. This is 6, and then this is 9, just like a clock face. Some people label it different, and I can't remember. It's A, B, C, D. I just like the idea of the clock because that is what I remember best. So take your weight off, take your buckle off so it doesn't fall on the ground, and you're going to tuck this up into itself to hang that first row of stitches. So when you do that, make sure you're using contrasting waste yarn, because if not, you'll have a very hard time seeing what you're doing. I've done that, and I've hung the waste yarn before, and I had to restart the whole project. Because you can't take it off, you can't undo it from the waste yarn if the waste yarn is now part of your project. So there's stitch 1 onto needle 1, and so forth. You go around and hang all of them. This creates 2 stitches on your needle, and on the next pass, when you crank around, it'll be knitting 2 together into 1 stitch again. So, all right, so it's October. I asked in one of the videos, have you done any fall-related things? I'll ask a different question today. How about, do you guys celebrate Halloween? Do you have a favorite memory from Halloween? A favorite costume? Maybe you went to a cool place for Halloween. Maybe you're like a super hardcore horror movie fanatic and you went to the hotel where, oh gosh, what is that name of that movie? Here's Johnny. Why can't I think of it? Are you that person? Are you those type of people that like going and seeing those types of things, like the Psycho House and whatnot? I personally think that's cool to go see where movies were made. I think that's kind of neat. Some places, I guess, just aren't even accessible anymore, or if it was all on a stage, you can't do that. But I just find that very interesting. I know people go see The Steps, The Exorcist. Is it The Exorcist, where she, like, crawls down them backwards or whatever? I don't watch a lot of horror movies. I mean, I've seen some. They're not my favorite, not gonna lie. Especially gory, bloody ones. Not my thing. My stepdaughter's actually upstairs right now watching some gory horror clown killer movie. All right, so I've hung as much as I can around, and we have this much left to go, but you can't do that because these are down here, and these aren't, you just can't do that. So you're going to put your weight back on so it distributes your weight evenly, and it's only going to distribute the weight evenly amongst the stitches that are hung, because it's hung onto this waste yarn and to your bonnet. That's where your weight's hanging from. So because of that, this is really floppy in here. So you need to make sure you hold them down and crank around. I know some of my videos are going to be very beginner and not expert or advanced, I should say. But everybody's got to start somewhere, and seeing repetitious stuff is how we learn. So you just want to finish hanging these all around. And like I said, this is an order for someone. So the order was they just wanted a hung hem on one end of the tube, crank the tube, put waste yarn on it, and they'll put the toes and heels into it. So I'm almost all the way around. Sorry if I gotta clear my throat there. These videos will have minimal editing, because I want you to see everything. I want you to see successes, learning processes, fails. I feel like I, excuse me, may have missed something somewhere. Did I miss the first stitch? Oh boy. That's this one. Nope. But got 2 left, and I don't have 2 to hang. There's 1. So what did I miss? Did I miss one? It doesn't look like I missed one when I'm looking. See, this is the kind of stuff you're going to get. I don't think I missed one. I feel like if I missed any, it's going to be at the beginning here. That is exactly what I've missed. All right, so we're just going to pretend that that was done evenly on 1 through 64, but 1 is now on 64. It's not going to adjust, it's not going to shift your cuff too much. I mean, 1 stitch off. Now, if you were way off, it would shift the fabric, and that would be weird. That would be a little off, but I feel like 1 stitch off is not going to change that. So we are now all hung. This is the last one. Yep. And for now, it's just going to be cranking. So I hope you guys enjoy the color changing and the noise. The weight is almost on the floor, which you can't have happen. So, gotta get that downward pressure. Let's put this on. I noticed this one is not doing a lot of color changing, so apologies for stating that fact, which was not really accurate. So, weight has been fixed, and let's keep going. All right, we're almost near the midway mark. So these yarns are kind of like the perfect pair socks. I'm gonna move my weight again. And it gives you an idea of it gonna hit this white yarn, which is the halfway point. So we're gonna get close to that and then put some waste yarn on. We're right now at 254 rows. I'm just going to pull some off of here to kind of see. Oh, that's where it's kind of getting white. It's hard to see, but I am going to stop it on the next crank here and be done. All right. We're going to cut that off, tuck that in. I need a good contrast for this. Let's use pink. So I will end up, before I crank the other tube for this, I'll end up taking all of this off. They give you a pretty good amount to know when to stop, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's about where I would cut it. So let's just do that now, so my next one will be ready. I have a bunch of different colors of waste yarn. I'll just use some pink. Now this is way more than you need for, I mean, unless the person has really big feet. Alright, I did 13 rows. That shouldn't be a problem running into the project yarn, unless it's yanked on aggressively. Alright, hold your weight, crank off. Alright, let's show you guys what this looks like. Let me move my camera because I keep hitting my machine. So there we go, that's better. Here is the cast on bonnet. Here is the waste yarn and the fishing line. There's the start. I'm going to go to the opposite side. I love doing this. Pulling that out. It's magic. All right, there's my hung hem. Did I miss a stitch? I did. Look at that. There was a missed stitch. I keep I keep a magnet that holds a bunch of these. Well, that happens, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. But I'll take the tail and weave that through. But I'm just gonna do that to hold it. Told you guys you would see everything. So somewhere, like I said, when I was hanging that, I was off somewhere. I don't know what I did. All right, let's see this color progression if we can. Maybe we gotta hold it so the light. Okay, so it's very mild color progression, and that doesn't help my light. It's like, that's still really beautiful. All right, there is number 1 of 2. All right, until the next video, happy Socktober, y'all.